Let's see. There it is. Perfect. Okay, now we're on. Let me get my chat on. Got some fun things to share. Ooh, they changed my chat box. Well, they're really messing up with Zoom. Love it. It's always technology changing, and that way it keeps us young or drives us crazy. All right. Anna's got everyone let in. It's July, and typically the meetings, I've had a couple calls from people on vacation, or texts or emails from people on vacation saying they wish they could be here. Keelan is working on a big grant project. She's got to get in, so she won't be here. Ben is going to probably come in late. He's traveling. And that's what we get in July, but it's so nice to see everyone who is here. So I'm going to turn it over to Nico to get started. And we have Anna. If you did not meet her last month, she is back. She's still with us. We have not scared her away. And she is really helping out at the center, and she will hopefully be with us long term. Turn it over to Nico.
Thanks, Shannon. So yeah, happy holiday, everyone. Hopefully everyone has a restful holiday. Welcome to Tamales. This is the Texas Assistive Technology Makers Alliance, our monthly meeting, the July meeting. As Shannon mentioned, my name's Nico. We have Anna, Shannon, and we have the rest of all of us as Tamales. We are the Tamalitos. Next slide, Shannon.
Oh,
It
there we
looks like
go.
you put in animations. Okay. Yeah,
Sometimes I get creative and then I forget that I got creative.
no worries. So reminder next September, in just a little over 2 months, we have our Viva La Vida conference, AT, with the Viva La Vida with AT 2025. Planning is the beginning for maker activities. We will discuss that later on in this presentation. But definitely get the word out if you have not yet. And if you're planning on visiting, be sure to get registered and all that. And yeah, anything else to mention there, Shannon?
Mm-mm. We're just, I'll talk about it in a minute.
Cool. As always, our mission for Tamales, we're going to always be expanding our network of Texas makers that actively includes and supports individuals with disabilities across Texas and nationwide, including Will, all the way over in the Carolinas, particularly those with unique needs by fostering collaborative dialogues to design innovative solutions and tools that promote independence. In today's agenda, we're going to be looking at new connections, brainstorming for Viva La Vida and our Makeathon, new resources, and kind of a tech and tell, just open forum, share and tell. So, next slide. New members, I'm not sure if we're.
Inez, were you here last month?
No, this is my first time. Hello.
Hey,
All
Ines.
right, then you get to be our new member for the day and you get to introduce yourself. What part of Texas are you from?
I'm not from Texas. This is my first time, and I don't know too much about tamales. But I'm an occupational therapist from Chile, and I'm living in Spain.
Oh,
And
Oh,
wow.
we love having you from across the world. So that's awesome.
I was searching more info about technology assistive because I'm an occupational therapist and I'm doing well right now a master in brain damage in Spain. So I wanted to know more about this stuff and I don't know how I found you. So
I
I
don't know
wanted
how
to
you found us either, but I'm glad you did. Um,
in Google. That's a
do
resume.
do you have a favorite maker tool? Are you doing any kind of fabrication right now?
I
Are you
want
making?
to learn and start that to doing to fabricate and learn more about that. That's why I'm here right now
All
to
right,
meet
so
new people and that kind of stuff.
perfect. And these are people you can network with, and that's our whole goal. We do have a Padlet we have two Padlets. One is the tamales and one is specifically 3D printing that we will share at the end. So make sure you take those and look through those.
Yes, I want to learn to use the 3D printer and that kind of stuff for my job and that kind of stuff. Yes.
Perfect. You'll fit right in. So that ended up telling us your goal, which is to be able to make and create, and that's why we're all here.
Yes, that's the camera. Yes, that's my goal to
Perfect.
because in my city and in my country in Chile, there's no more or I don't know too much like investigators or researchers about that team. So that's why I'm
I
here.
took it away from Nico, but Nico actually speaks Spanish, so I'm going to let him continue where I took over. So I have to step back.
No, and I think that's a very valid point. Having researchers across the globe that are doing it, especially in their home countries, because every country has unique environments and like features, and it's always
Yes.
good to be having researchers that are in the communities doing the good work. So, bienvenidos, Inés, a este grupo. I think I mean, Ana, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself at all, or I don't know how we want to do that, or she kind of did, but.
No,
Yeah,
she did a great job, and that kind of moves us forward. So,
cool. So where we are going, like Shannon mentioned, well, she's going to Bolt. It has been retitled to Bolt. But in August, we are going to Abilities, and then again, our Viva La Vida conference in September in Tejas in Austin. So definitely come out. And then pass it on to the next slide.
oh, and now the exciting things. So we've
Okay,
been working behind the scenes.
this is where Shannon will take over and run with it.
All right. So, um, we're going to have the 2 days of maker events at our conference, so the 25th and the 26th. And on the 25th, we've been working with the CNS lab at the University of Texas. And what we're going to be doing is, you fast forward one, we are going to be using microbit switches, and we're going to be making these adapted switches. So the CNS lab is 3D printing all of these switch components. And then we've already purchased the microbit switches. And so we will be selling kits for probably around $30, which will include the microbit, which has a battery pack, batteries, and the little circuit board. And then the CNS lab is going to do the 3D printing, and they're going to actually create these different cases, and people will have a little bit of a choice of the different cases. And so what this does, let me show you a quick video. I want to make sure I shared my sound. So I'm going to stop share and reshare. All right. And so these are the microbit switches that we found are the best to purchase if you are trying to do an activity. So I'll bring this over. And they're on Amazon. And the good thing about it is, and maybe Prime, they'll have a discount. But in this kit for $229, you get the 10 microbit boards, you get the cables that go with it, you get the battery holders and the batteries, and a little quick start guide. So it's all included. So for us to be, we actually bought 60 so that everyone will be able to, or well, so that we'll have 60 people that will be able to create these switches. We'll probably only make about 40, hopefully, and I don't know how many people will participate, but at least we'll have that option for them. And then we do have a room, and they'll be able to go back and get the students from the University of Texas to help them put it together. Now, what we are going to be making is actually part of Print Lab, and the Patrick from the CNS lab, and hopefully he'll be showing up to these meetings at some point, um, has a subscription. So this is a paid subscription to the print lab, but he has the subscription. And so it gives you what the project are. So this is what we're going to be making on Thursday at the conference.
TAP is a microbit-powered dual-switch access
didn't want to
device
do
that
that.
enables people
Sorry.
with disabilities to control mobile phones, tablets, and computers. It's designed for people who have limited hand mobility
Can't see
and
it.
traditional input methods
You
for
can't see it
computer
at all?
devices,
No.
such as mouse and keyboard, small
Okay.
buttons,
I can't see
or
either.
touchscreens.
Well, if he can't, you can't. So let me reshare. I probably did something wrong. Share screen 2. How about that?
Or a group of items. Pressing the
Okay.
A button will change
Got it.
the select.
All right. And
And
you
once the
started.
design TAP is a microbit-powered dual-switch access device that enables people with disabilities to control mobile phones, tablets, and computers. It's designed for people who have limited hand mobility and struggle to use traditional input methods for computer devices, such as mouse and keyboard, small buttons, or touchscreens. Simply connect TAP to your device via Bluetooth and turn on switch control. Then map the buttons to move to next item and tap. When switch control is activated, a blue border highlights an item or a group of items. Pressing the A button will change what item is selected, and once the desired item is reached, the B button can be pressed to select it. A key feature of TAP is that it is 3D.
I'm not going to watch the whole video, but I wanted you to kind of see what it was. And we'll have all 5 different varieties that people will get to choose from once they come into the makerspace. So that's kind of exciting that we've got some real projects aligned. So any questions or comments about that? So when we used to be able to make switches for or we used to have to purchase switches for no less than $60 to $100. You can see with this little microbit, you've got a nice little switch that interfaces electronically with the iPad for $22. And I'm sure as like Dr. Lee's group, I'm sure they could do this for even less, but we've got to make this as simple as possible for beginners. And so this is a really good beginners project. Because we're excited about that. And then on Friday, we're still working on the details for Friday, but we will be adapting a toy, and we're not sure which toy. I've got a couple feelers out, and I'm waiting for some calls back. But on Friday, we're hoping to have a variety of 3 different toys, and people will have a chance to switch adapt the toys. And we don't know if we'll keep it real simple with a switch interrupter, a battery interrupter, or actually do some soldering. The group from ADAPT are a little nervous about teaching soldering, and so they may just do soldering demonstrations, but they may help us make switch interfaces, adapted switch interfaces to adapt the toys. So those are the things we have for the conference for our makerspace at this point. And then ADAPT is also going to come in and show us the toys they've adapted. They'll do some demonstrations. And then they will also be showing some cars, which Inez, if you were here, you would think they were really cool because we can now put very young children in these little cars, which gives them true mobility. All right.
Oh, Shannon, who are you using for that?
ADAPT.
Oh, we're having Go Baby Go come in to do the same thing.
Well, ADAPT is and I'll show you the link on the next slide. ADAPT is a group here. I'm going to go forward. Let me look them up real quick so that you can see. So ADAPT is a part of the University of Texas here, and they've been working for 2 years. And theirs is a little bit different than Go Baby Go. ADAPT, hold on, sorry. When are they coming to Region 4?
We're trying to get him to come in, I think, the first week of December.
You should probably also look at some of these guys, and you'll meet them at the conference later on. But this is their ride-on car is their project. And they're going to bring these cars to the conference. So it's a little different than the Go Baby Go car.
Yeah.
And then they also have Abel here, and he's the project lead for the adapted toys. My internet's going kind of slow. And so they're going to do a presentation on the cars, and they're going to do a presentation on the adapted toys, and then they're going to have some demonstrations. But in working and getting to know this team, we didn't know they even existed, and they've got a lot going on at their center. So we're really excited to start collaborating with them. And ADAPT apparently is a national organization, but the University of Texas has only been working as an arm of ADAPT for about 2 years. And so they're really excited to keep growing their program. Let me put this back.
It sounds like a really good program.
Yeah. And Sarah, you'll get to meet them all though when you come, so it'll be some good networking for you. And that's what we have. So now I'm going to turn it over to Nico and Anna.
Yeah. So back in June, we had advertised special interest groups with ATAP. It was about adaptive gaming. We were able to attend, Anna and I, because we have kind of a keen interest on adaptive gaming and what it means for open access, especially for our kiddos. And just here to report a little bit back on what we learned and kind of some resources that Anna picked up and wants to share with y'all.
Yeah, so I just want to briefly highlight like an adaptive gaming resource that really stood out to us recently. So last month, like Nico mentioned, we attended the first meeting of a new adaptive gaming interest group hosted by ATAP, or the Association of Assistive Technology Act Programs. It basically brought together professionals from like AT programs from across the US and even some from like the UK. To explore how like adaptive gaming is being used as a tool for access, inclusion, and connection. And during that meeting, we were introduced to a lot of resources, including those from the Arizona Technology Access Program that I wanted to share today.
Open this real quick, yeah.
And then a quick overview of like what they do. They basically do like personalized consultation, so working one-on-one with individuals to help them find like setups that fit their needs. They do device demos and trials. They do customization and creativity, which that includes like the 3D printing mods that's needed too for gaming tools to make them more accessible. Yeah, so basically they just focus on meeting people where they're at and supporting access to gaming. So not just as like a recreation thing, but as a tool for like connection, inclusion, and independence. And then when it comes to all the resources, there's 2 that are linked that I wanted to highlight that are like 2 short videos. They're kind of long, so I just wanted to like
Wix
overview them or
gives you
give
the
you like
freedom to
like a synopsis basically. So the first one is accessible gaming 3D printed mods, which highlights how 3D printing is used to create custom grips and then extenders, mounts, and like other modifications. So it's like a good example of adaptive gaming intersecting with like maker communities and tech forward stuff, solutions for that. And then the other one, the second one, is benefits of gaming. So it talks about like the social, emotional, and cognitive benefits of gaming for people with disabilities. It's a reminder that accessibility in gaming is more than just like about access. It's about joy, autonomy, and like connection with other people. I feel like overall we've been inspired by the work that they've been doing, and hopefully we'll build something similar here in Texas through TTAP to reach more gamers and like provide opportunities for accessible play across the state. So
That might be the next project, but we've got to think of a catchy tamale name since we've got Taco Tech Tuesday and the tamales. We'll have to think of another another start brainstorming ideas for the next one for gaming.
Well, another thing that we have to take a look at is how 3D printing can be involved because I did a little bit of that in the beginning when I was starting off and learning, but I haven't revisited what they got out there so far as STL files and prints. So,
And now there's a new kind of file, and it's there. Brian and Dr. Lee might know, but it's supposed to be more precise than an STL file. It's called um, I just saw it. I'll tell you what it is. 3M. So now it's 3MF files. So Brian, have you heard of the 3MF files? You're muted.
Yes, I have. The manufacturers of 3D printers are trying to work directly with the software, like your CAD programs.
Mhm.
And so they're coming out with better translation so that the printers can do a better job because the STL files are kind of kludgy. They create all these shapes that assimilate what you want, you know. So yeah, 3MF is one of them, and there's some others that are coming down the pike.
Will there be any like standardized file? Are these all standardized? Can they be used like on all the different printers, do you know?
I want to say yes. There'll be some standouts that maybe not, but they're trying to create standards for all the 3D printers. So if it's popular enough, everybody's going to jump on board and adopt it, just like STL files.
And the only reason I know about it is because I ordered some really cool dinosaur files for my grandsons, and they sent me updates saying that now all of my files can be downloaded in 3MF form. So then I had to research it, and it was talking just what you were saying, how it's higher quality, but that's as far as I got. So I appreciate your version better. And do you know how long it's going to take for that to kind of take place, Brian, or it's already been happening?
It's kind of all it already been happening, however, not fast enough because they were talking about it a couple years ago.
Okay.
So the good thing is now we're a couple years down the road, so it is progressing, but I'll have to check and see where they are now. Now, one thing that's coming out that Ultimaker just announced is their new Nebula classroom curriculum software, where it will use AI to custom generate curriculum for whoever you're trying to instruct. So you could have somebody with disabilities and you could tell the AI program the requirements and what you want to achieve and their interests, and it would then develop a training around that specifically. So it's going to be pretty amazing. So it's in its infancy, but they are opening it up to the public to try it out.
Very nice. Thank you.
Teachers always are struggling for curriculum, and it'd be nice if it was custom to their classroom and their environment.
And then you could say custom and aligned.
And absolutely, I like that.
All right, I'll move forward.
If I may,
Yes, yes.
yeah, we also try 3MF. It seems to do a pretty good job. It depends on the printer too, right? It's not all printer can do a good job. So I think the point that I'm trying to say right now is you just have to experiment with it. Certain file print better than others, and certain file STLs is better than others. So like we use both, and that's how I tend to do it when we just try something. If STL is the first one we try, and if it doesn't work, we'll try different format or we try different type. That way, and it costs a little bit of time and material, but I think it gives us a better idea of which one will be a better print. We use that as evaluation, and because we are an educational institution, that's okay. That's what we need to do to make sure that kids have a chance to look at very different things. And that's my experience with it. They don't always work out the way that you want to. It depends on what you're printing.
So when Dr. Lee, when your students are using the CAD design program, then would it be a matter of saving it as an STL versus saving it as a 3MF?
Yes, exactly. For example, we use SolidWorks. You can save it. It has a whole list of various different formats that
Okay.
you can save, and you can save it. You can as long as you have the drawing files, you can save it in any way that you want. You just pull it up as a drawing file, and then you save it in a different format. And that's that's why it's convenient to do certain software like SolidWorks. A
Mhm.
certain software can't doesn't have all that, but some software like SolidWorks does. And this is, I guess, this is one of the things that we like is we don't know what it's going to do, but we can try. It depends on what software we have, and we actually have limited software because a lot of software that we have, it depends on what the districts allow us to have. So for private, we have to get on. Oh, by the way, good to see you, Brian. I mean, you solved your issues for attending. We good to see your face.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Good to
and
be back.
thank you for everything. We've been I'm sorry, this is a little bit off topic, Shannon. We are working on the voice at IT box, and we're assembling it. We've got a few done already, so that's kind of helpful. And so we're looking at how to generate more. And all thanks to you, Brian. Thank you.
Yep. And I'm working on getting you some more donations, so that's in the
I
works.
appreciate that. Now, there you go, Shannon. I mean, I never had a chance to actually thank him personally, just hear him on the background, but it's good. He's a great resource. You know that, right? So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. Um, and now speaking of resources, so that was one new resource. I just had a question about that that was off topic 3MF files. And then I'll turn it over to Nico staying current and he'll talk about some other resources.
Yeah, so we have a couple of articles. This one I just found while we were kind of working on this today. These are actually, this is overdone at the CMS lab, just printing with different stretchable materials that also are conductive. So they're just like, they're doing these really cool new 3D printing methods that, again, using different materials and seeing how they can be conductive and used in different spaces and printing with relative ease. I know this has definitely big time applications within the medical field, especially for wearable devices. So it's kind of sky's the limit there. I went to kind of slightly off topic, but I went to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia this past week, and they had a bunch of wearable assistive technology that was also integrated with 3D printing technology too. And so this just made me think of this and just like where we can go and where it's going to go. What was the thing you were talking about, Shannon, earlier today, where it has to have bio something in the front of it? I
Oh,
think
that's the next article.
that's the
So
next article. Yeah.
yeah, let me go to the next one. Sorry.
And then within that article from UT Austin, there is another free access article that talks about kind of the process that they did, the scientific process. So, and then this is the
Yeah,
one. Oh
there you
yeah,
go. It's bio-inspired design.
everything has to be bio inspired, which I think is really cool. We want it to be nature and science to kind of have a harmonious relationship. So I think this is a good language to have. Um, and again, another free access article that you can go and explore. But just looking at how can we create that humanistic design within science and especially 3D printing and making. Um, and then this one is the one that was from the UT Austin looking at dissolvable and different types of soluble and conductive materials within 3D printing. So,
Yeah, it's looking at some of the dissolvable supports when you're 3D printing so that you don't have to sit there and pick them all off.
mhm.
Um, The one article that this second one, this bio-inspired design. So we've been talking about working with TEA and trying to get high schools to have these AT strands, which is what Houston Independent School District is doing, which we're thrilled about. And this is an article where they kind of did that. They had a class on that, and it talks about kind of the process and the collaborative experience. So it kind of explains, it's like a little case study on how it transposed. So I thought it was really kind of relevant to how we're trying to grow and embed some of these assistive technology programs in the high schools. And even I would like to see them in middle schools and even elementary schools. The sky's the limit. So I'd like to see more of that collaboration between special ed and general ed. And that's, before I retire, that's my long-term goal. And this is an article that kind of supports the idea. So that's why we added that one. Now, all of these articles are in the Padlet. We'll review the Padlet in a minute. But these were just some articles that we're highlighting because we're always trying to build that capacity. Some people are in it more for the ideas, like the switches, the micro switches. Other people want to read the articles, especially if you're in school as an occupational therapist. And Inez, you're going to really like it. Kyle Ann is an occupational therapist from Texas Women's, and she usually attends, but she's got a big grant, and so she's not here, but she will be attending our conference and presenting for us. And she's a wealth of knowledge, so I'd love to get you connected with her also.
Yeah, it sounds fun, and maybe the next meeting I will meet her.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that means you're coming back, so that's always good. All right, moving forward, Nico, I'm turning it back to you. Inspire.
Totally. So yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of just a passing of the mic. Tech and Tell, what are y'all working on? How's your summer going? Not too burnt out, technology wise. How are things going? What is taking a break from the school year? I mean, it's kind of like we're already in July and it's going to be August in a blink of an eye. I don't want to think about it, but yeah, what do y'all have going on? I guess moving into fall. I don't want to look at those words. But anyone else? I guess Inez, you guess you're technically you are in summer. Yeah.
It's really hot in here. Right now I'm just I don't know the word in English about this.
Fan. A fan.
Yes, a fan. It's so it's really hot, and right now it's 11 p.m. and it's
Oh
really hot.
wow. Yeah. I
30,
guess
30 35 degrees, I think.
okay.
Something.
That's pretty hot.
Yes.
Sarah, what are you working on now at Region 4? With your Maker Lab? You've always
Yes,
got ideas.
we've
And
had quite a big turnout. We've tried to limit it to 15 because it can kind of get to be glorified babysitting at some point, it's just a lot going on. But our Glowforge has been a really huge hit. And then you can adapt that toy. Sorry, I put that in the chat because I did a thing with the whole department over Christmas and we adapted that toy, and you don't need to solder anything. You can just use hot glue.
yay, good.
So I did a toy adapting session today for our early childhood. That was entertaining. Um, but yeah, I think mostly we've just been, trying to help people solve through problems, especially with key guards and some adaptive mice and things like that. What else have we been working on? That's about it, I
Well,
think.
Sarah, talk a little bit about what you're doing, because you do it once a month and you just have an open lab, correct?
Yeah, we do it once a month. And so we've done it a couple of different ways. And I think next year we're going to have more theme focused. So like we had Brittany Kraft come from Toby Dynavox, and we do it from 10 to 2, and you can participate we call it a guided activity. So you can participate in that if you want, or if you already know what you want to do, they can come in and do that. I think Vandrelin has she's going to do something focused on VI. So adapting some things for our VI kiddos. I'm supposed to pick a theme. I haven't picked one yet for October. Oh, no, we did pick one for October. We're gonna do a trick or treat bag with like core vocab symbols and stuff on it. Uh, so we're just things like that. So we found that if people didn't have anything to do, then they kind of just didn't really know what to do. So at least if we can put in the title, come and learn more about Board Maker if you want to, then they seem to be more receptive to wanting to come in.
And then you're using the lab, and so then you've got people using it, which is kind of what we
Yeah.
want in regards to building it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But it would definitely, I think like we had 17 that day we did the Board Maker activity, and it was me and Jade. But I think if you have less than that, like you really do kind of need a lot of hands-on
Yeah,
help for
you
some
should try
people.
that microbit switch thing because
To do that, yeah. Is that kind of, well, so we talked to the people you came to that session, didn't you?
yeah, Loretta helped with that idea.
Yeah, so we talked to them and we're gonna have them come in. Um, we're thinking about next summer to come in to work with that kind of stuff.
You're gonna
So
make them come from New York to Texas in the summer.
yeah, I know. We apologize for that.
It's all good. They'll
Yeah.
come. They'll be
Yeah.
delightful.
So it's going well. It's been busy summer, like you said. I can't believe it's already July.
Very nice. Brian, are you working on anything?
Lots of things. We've got some new printers that came out, but I wanted to just mention to everybody, I keep up with a lot of publications, and in the publications, they talk about where 3D technology is at. I know HP has a seminar coming up with like prosthetics for younger adults, for kids. And so that should be real interesting. They came out with a new 3D printer, and I can't remember where in the world it came out, but they can 3D print the skin directly on the body. And I thought that was pretty spectacular. So I put in my email address in the chat. I can send you links to some of these publications. So the young lady from Chile, there was an article from Chile, I think, where they were printing skulls for the brain and other things. So 3D technology is just amazing. All the different fields that now have started developing, you know, just incredible things. Everybody has got their own little 3D printer, and they're trying to make the world a little better. But
And it's interesting you say that, but I think we walk in a world where we are attracted to other people that use it. But I'm amazed when I step away from my role at TTAP, how few people are so amazed when I bring my little 3D printed frogs or something. And so because we think it's just here because it's here, and then you walk out and it's like, you could 3D print that. You could 3D print that. But people still we got a long way to go. It's
yeah, we do.
amazing.
We do. Once we get them in everybody's home, which is my goal, we'll be there. Until
Yeah.
it's like television sets, we're not quite there yet.
And I'd much rather have someone playing with a 3D printer than a television as far as my
Absolutely.
grandkids. So,
Absolutely. It's interactive and you learn. It's not just playing a game.
all right, what about you, Will? And any updates on your Shark Tank?
Well, unfortunately, I did not make the next round of Shark Tank, but I tried. I went down swinging, and like I said last time, in 17 seasons, there's only been 3 products for people with disabilities. So that frustrates me, confuses me. It does a couple things, but mainly it motivates me. So I guess what's going on in my wheelhouse is I am working with more state lending libraries and stuff, universities. So I've reached out to a couple of them, and luckily I already have Temple on my side, Tamales here. I've got University of South Carolina. So I'm just trying to get in front of as many
University
people
of
as possible.
Seattle, because they've got an ATAP program, and they're really nice. I'll hook you up with Brennan. Brennan is the 3D printing gentleman that's really delightful.
And you said that was University of Seattle?
Yeah, it's if you go in, say, AT Act program of Washington, it
Oh, well, I'm
should,
sure he's probably in my database then, because I'm
yeah, yeah.
perfect. Well, heck yeah. Well, and I'm
And
just
look for
one
his
of the
name is
people.
Brennan, and he's a really good, he's real sharp at 3D printing. He's created some really good tools for vision impairments.
Most
He's
importantly,
very,
can I name drop Shannon Page?
yeah, yeah,
All right, perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just and then I joined the Low Country Senior Network, which is a big foundation here, just so the group of people that are trying to help the elderly community. So I'm their newest member, and yeah, just trying to spread the word of the Atento board. So just
I
always
might
happy
be their
to jump
newest
on here with
member, but
y'all.
I don't think it's for the same reason.
What's that?
I said I might be their newest member, but it may not be for the same reason.
Well, there were three people today that just got their Medicare numbers or Medicaid numbers. They were very happy about that. So there was a mini celebration for that. So you're definitely welcome.
All right, perfect. And then Dr. Lee, how are your students doing? How is your summer program going? I think you're muted. Dr. Lee, you're muted.
I apologize. The students kind of decided to have a little bit of time off for some of the for summer. We're planning to get back onto it at the boot camp, which is about the you I told you about that, right? On the
Yeah, yeah.
July 28th and until 30. Did we fix a date for you to come by on one of those 3 days? I don't recall, but
No, you
we
gave me a
still
general because I wanted to make sure it's not when I was on vacation, and I've marked them on my calendar, but we don't have a specific time.
okay. That's great. We're working on the agenda for that, and not firming everything yet, so I don't have much to tell you about that. But that's when we kind of kick into gear for the new year, with starting with on that time, 28, and then there's a few things on the agenda. Number one, the boot camp to introduce new students, and this is where we recruit for some of the things that we need to do for the project. And the project this year, we're driving toward the making the assistive technology one of the main agenda for our new students, 9th and 10th. We also going to work on the to maybe drive toward what we're going to present, and this is where we need your help at the
Okay,
conference. So that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at, and then we'll keep doing the various different projects relating to two or three main ideas. One of them was, I think we discussed with you also. It's the laser switch, which is I think it's promising, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work yet. But the laser will be demonstrated as an instrument, as a musical instrument, and that's something that I think we're gonna try. And then the voice box, we should have about two, three, maybe four voice box to showcase. So that's
perfect.
that's something that we will have for the conference as well. And then on top of all that, I just saw you demonstrate the microbits switches, which is something that I'm kind of interested because it's kind of small, and it's kind of convenient, and maybe it's something that we can adapt to something that we're working on for our switches. So that's something that we can look into.
And
And
Dr.
that's
Lee, if you go into the website for Microbit, they've got that shoot, let me get my thoughts. The Let's see if it works for me. So this print lab um, has a whole bunch of different things you can make with the microbit, and that's what's so promising about it. So if you go to the assistive technology, um, they've got more things that you can do with that microbit. Or I guess it would be the microbit website, but you need to go because there's a lot of things they can do with that microbit tool. Not on Print Labs, it's actually on the microbit. So let me look that up real quick. Here it is. Yeah, so they've got all these different activities that your students can participate with from low end, and then it gets up to higher end with the microbits. And they've got all the patterns and samples and things.
That is promising. I don't know much about this until you told me today. So, okay, that's something that we can explore.
And let me put this in the chat for you.
Okay.
And Patrick is our representative at UT, and he did all the research, and he said Amazon is the cheapest place to get them, and so we found that true. The box that we get, like I said, has 10 full sets of the complete microbit with the battery and the wires and everything. So it's meant for schools.
You said it's about $22 for the kid, right?
Yeah, well, you can buy 10. So on Amazon, you can buy 10 for $229. So the kit comes with the 10 microbit boards, the 10 cables, the 10 battery holders. So it's 10 times. If you buy it individually, it's relatively inexpensive, but it's a little bit, it's 27, I think.
Okay.
So
Well, that's something that we can try. Maybe we buy a couple of those, 2 or 3, for a student who are interested in it. And I still have to make a pitch to the student because we're only as good as when the student take up the project, right?
true, they've got to have that motivation to do it. So that's very
right, yeah.
true.
So we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes with them when I see them on the 28th. And I'm going to introduce a few of these projects and see which one they will choose to do.
Perfect. And I wanted to kind of just go over the Padlet again, so I'm going to fast forward a second. This is the box link, and so Inez, there are some articles that are not open source that like Kyle Anna shared with us that we have found. So if you go to this box link, and I'll put that in the chat, you can look at those, and we ask that you don't post those, but therefore you're reading because we want to grow together as a team. And then the next one is the actual Padlet. That's the shared box. Here's the Padlet. And the Padlet, I'm going to add that link in for you, Inez. I think everyone else has it here. And this is our Tamales Padlet. You see Will's here. You're welcome to put your picture on here. Some people have shared. These are some of our older presentations, but these are also in box. And then we post them on YouTube. And maybe we should put the YouTube link on here, Nico, to the channel under the session slides.
Yeah, just to have like a link to
Yeah.
the recordings.
And then we've just kind of got it organized by national organizations here that you can look at, Inez. Here's maker groups in Texas, and we just most recently added our own CNS lab, and then ADAPT is on here. And ADAPT, I think I put in the national group.
I was
Yeah.
going to say the box link isn't in the chat. It's the microbit again. Because you pasted the microbit again instead of
Oh, okay. I'll go back and get that. Let me do copy. All right, we'll do it slower. Thank you.
Thank you. I was thinking about that link for the articles to read.
Okay, and then there's some open source articles also on here. So here's just some different ideas and lists for maker spaces if you wanted to get started. Project examples, and I'm going to add the, I added Print Lab, and then I need to add the microbit on here, so we'll add that. Anna, will you add the microbit to it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got some different research articles here, which you might like, Inez, and then some files, interesting files that people have shared, general AT resources, and then we've kind of broken into ideas, adapted sports, adapted gaming, universal control access, different access methods, which would help you. And that's pretty much what we have. So we're always just kind of growing together. We're at about a year now that we've all been together, and we just want to keep growing and building. My goal, as I said, is really to have education, your high school programs, starting learning about AT, so it becomes just what we do. And with that, I will move forward. BoxLink. If everyone's moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. And there's my Mustang still, which is still in my garage, and it does not look like that, but it will one day. Any last minute comments from anyone else? We went fast today. Yes, we do need more profiles up. Sarah, put your profile up and talk about your makerspace on the Padlet.
I can do that.
Okay.